Yes, no. There we go. So we're live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from the GAMA Manufacturing Show in Reno, Nevada. I keep wanting to say Vegas. It was Vegas last year. Yeah. A couple years before that, too. So, yeah. So, but new experience for us. But first off, let's get some introductions out of the way. As usual, I'm Matt, and I am joined here with my special guest, Andy Looney from Looney Labs.
Hi there. It's great to be here.
Andy, you're always a riot to have on the stream. We love having you on. We had the pleasure of having you on at PAX Unplugged, and then we did an interview with you at Gen Con, so you're definitely a familiar face to our viewers watching at home. But as always, you got some new exciting stuff to show off for us.
Always, of course. So, but I will point out that one of the reasons I like you guys so much is because I love purple.
It's
purple
the best
is my favorite color, and you guys really go out with the purple. So.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I'm always happy to play games with you guys. And what am I doing today? We're going to play my brand new game, Get the MacGuffin.
Get the MacGuffin. What is Get the MacGuffin?
Get the MacGuffin is a game where, well, you're trying to get the MacGuffin, of course. And what is a MacGuffin? A MacGuffin, actually, it's sort of a script writer's term. And it refers to the thing in the story that the characters are trying to get. So whatever it is that drives the story along.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail is a great example. The Maltese Falcon is a classic one.
There you go.
As you could say, the stolen Death Star plans are kind of the MacGuffin, if you will. You know, the thing everybody's trying to get.
Gotcha.
A favorite example is the briefcase from Pulp Fiction. What's in there? We never even find out, but everybody wants to get that thing.
Everyone wants it.
So in Get the MacGuffin is, we don't even know what it is really. It's just something in a briefcase.
So the green's a little see-through there, and it's I can see your head a little bit, but so this is the briefcase here for the MacGuffin.
Right. The MacGuffin is the most valuable card in the game, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, the money can steal the MacGuffin, and the thief can steal the MacGuffin. So, but the MacGuffin, if you have it, it's infinitely discardable. If it's your only thing, you can throw it away and get it right back again.
Okay.
So, in that way, it's a win the game card. Now, some of the cards in this game are very powerful, like that. Another one is the crown. If you have that, you're the king of the game. And everyone must address you as your majesty, and you can pass when it's not your turn.
Okay.
And those are a couple of the powerful cards. On the other hand, there are some that are very weak, doing very little. For example, the Shrug Master, when you play that, you shrug. And the promo we've been giving away there is the fist bump. That's not in the game, but it's
that lovely
one
promo
that doesn't really do much. When you play that, you fist bump another player.
There we go.
That does. So the object of the game is to stay in the game as long as possible, and you're eliminated from the game if you have no cards. So you're going to have a very small hand of cards, 5 cards for a 2-player game, fewer for a more than 2-player game, depending on how many players there are. You can play this game with anywhere from 2 to 11 players.
Oh, wow. That scales up pretty nicely then.
It's pretty amazing. And one of the things that is awesome is that the 2-player game is really great. A lot of times you might think, oh, well, that sounds like a party game. The 2-player game is probably not very good, right? Well, the 2-player game is probably the best version.
Really?
I think it's just the most exciting because well, the thing is, you're only going to have 5 cards, and that means that more than half of the cards are going to be out of the game in a 2-player game. So it's really very different each time that you don't know what kind of card combos you're going to be getting. So it really makes it interesting.
It definitely puts a monkey wrench in the standard strategies, then, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, because maybe there is no MacGuffin.
Oh yeah.
And it's all that matters is who has the last card. I've talked about it enough. Let's play the game.
Sounds good to me.
So each player, as I say, in a 2-player game is going to get 5 cards. You'll never get any more cards than that unless I deal too many, which there we go. Unless you get the tomb robber. Now, we call the set-aside cards the tomb, and they are dead to us. Except the tomb robber could steal 1, and that's the only way you're going to get a card back. Otherwise, you got to make these last. When you're out of cards, you're out of the game.
Okay.
So I dealt, so you go first. There are 2 kinds of cards, actions and objects. Objects, you play them in front of you, and you keep them kind of like Keepers in Flux. And they have a power that you can use later, or you can throw them away as your turn later. You have to do something on your turn.
So I have to play it face up if I've got
If you play an object. Or you play an action, you just do whatever the action says.
Okay, so I'm going to play an object, the crown. I know you said it
before. You are indeed the king of the game, Your Majesty. Well played. Keep that in front of you to signify that you have the crown. I'm going to play the Spy.
Ooh.
So the Spy lets me take a look at your hand of cards.
Okie doke.
And I get, oh, wow, look at that. Interesting. Well, okay then. Your turn, Your Majesty.
Let me see here. Well, I'm going to play the backup MacGuffin. So, in the absence of the real MacGuffin, this is considered to be the MacGuffin.
It certainly is. And I'm surprised you would play that because, if I may point out, Your Majesty, you might actually want to not play anything. Because
okay.
You can pass.
Oh, I could pass my turn.
Yeah.
As king. I'm going
As
to pass.
king, you have the option to pass.
I shall pass my turn because that's gonna. I don't have to play anything.
That's a good thing because you're trying to stay in the game as long as possible.
Right.
So passing is very powerful.
Okay.
But I know that you have the backup MacGuffin in your hand, not only because you played it, but because I'm a spy.
You saw it. You saw it before.
So I'm going to play. Can I use that? It lets me take a card at random from your hand and play it. So mix them up so I have absolutely no chance of knowing where in your hand it might be.
Little trickaroo here. Let's see what we got.
So we're going to play that one. Oh, I'm not dead yet. So this is a card that is very powerful. Well, sort of powerful. If you're about to be dead, it lets you stay alive one more turn by stealing a card from somebody. It has no effect when played when you're not on the brink of death. Your turn. No, wait. That was...
Yep.
No, that was me. That's your turn.
So could I just keep passing indefinitely with the crown?
Well, you can as long as there's no MacGuffin. Now, I was trying to get your backup MacGuffin by doing that. Since I failed, I'm going to have to find some other way around you passing forever. But you can pass again. Yes, you can.
You know, I'm going to pass then.
All right. Well, in that case, I better just go ahead and play my actual MacGuffin.
Oh, no.
What do you got now, Your Majesty?
Oh, man. Oh, God. I got to see what I have here. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna play the switcheroo. So I'm gonna trade hands with you, Andy.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully you got something good for me in here.
There is one thing that could prove very useful for you. Yeah.
I see that. Well, I'm assuming it's not the Shrugmaster.
No, it's definitely not. Well, since I have to go next, I'll go ahead and play that backup MacGuffin that you have.
Oh boy!
Because I have to play these various cards before I can use the power of the MacGuffin.
So I'm going to play an action here, and this is the Tomb Robbers.
Right. So you're going to grab a card from the ones that we did not deal
at random.
At random.
Okay. I'm going to grab this one here. Okay. And so, do I have to play this
that
now?
adds to your hand.
Okay.
So then I will play the paper. So I've got all kinds of objects over here. And now it's your turn, and you can't pass. You could throw away your crown or play a card from your hand.
So you know what? I'm going to play the Fist of Doom here.
Oh no!
So does this allow me to discard one of your?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so I'm gonna discard your the actual MacGuffin.
All right, so you Fist of Doom my actual MacGuffin, but since I have a backup MacGuffin, this one takes on all the properties and powers of the real MacGuffin.
I see that.
Which still means you can't pass.
Right.
I will throw away my paper.
Okay.
And now it's your turn, Your Majesty.
Well, you know, I'm going to play the Shrugmaster. So
Shrugmaster shrugs. Very good. I will use the power of the MacGuffin to pick it up and put it back down again. Your turn.
Well, I have nothing to play.
You're out. Except, Your Majesty, you have to throw away your crown.
Bye-bye,
and
crown.
Now you're out of the game. I'm the last one standing with the backup MacGuffin, and I win!
I would like to point out that that was my backup MacGuffin originally.
Once it may have been. Now, as we were saying, a lot of cards we didn't even see. Take a look at some of this stuff. We got the assassin. We got the hippie. That's a fun one.
The hippie.
There's a couple of other hand pusher around. There's the Wheel of Fortune and the Vortex. One of my favorites, of course, is the Grand Marshal. He waves on his turn. He looks like me. The Interrogator searches for the MacGuffin. The Garbage Collector gets something out of the trash. That's very good. The Thief steals a card. That could be the MacGuffin. The Money can buy the MacGuffin, but it can be stolen itself.
Okay.
The Merchant makes deals. So many cards. The other two, the Rock, Paper, and the Scissors, we didn't see the Rock and the Scissors. Each of those can destroy something, but is also susceptible to being destroyed by something. So there it is. You got a little bit sense of it. You want to try it again?
You know what? Yeah, I'm ready to try it again. I think I got a feel for it now.
One of the things I love about it is that it's always a fast game, too.
Right.
Because since you're never getting any more cards, it will always drive to a conclusion in just a few minutes.
So how does it play with 11 people compared to just 2? Is it draw it out just a little bit longer then?
Well, you still have only a limited number of cards. Now, in an 11-player game, everyone's only going to get 2 cards.
Oh, wow.
There are only 23 cards in the deck. And so you deal them out until you run out enough. Until there's not enough to go around. That's why there's always something in the tomb, because prime numbers. So with 11 players, you're only going to have 2 cards, but you're also not going to be called upon to play very often. So and cards move around. A lot of things change. High chaos game. So you just never know who's going to win, even in an 11-player game. So I dealt. You go first.
Okay.
Although you won, I mean, I won the last game, and I dealt the last game. So we should make me go first.
Okay, you start us out, Andy.
I will, and I'll do the hippie thing and flash the peace sign. Your turn.
So I'm gonna play. Oh man, I'm gonna play the merchant. No, I'm not. That's a lie. I'm gonna play the rock.
He's
That's
got a
an
rock.
object.
All right.
So that just stays in play.
That's going to be a problem for my scissors.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good thing I played that then. See, that's my psychic right there.
Well, I'm gonna forestall that right now and play the Tomb Robber and get
Ooh.
something out of the unplayed cards and add it to my hand. All right, your turn.
Okay.
What else you got, Mr. Rock?
I'm gonna play the. I'm gonna play the assassin. So the assassin is if someone has a crown in play, they must discard it, but no one does.
Right.
But otherwise, then I can discard any object in play or a randomly chosen card from another player's hand. So I'm
Right.
going to discard a card from your hand there. Andy.
Yes, you can. So assassinate one
So
of my
does it go
cards.
face up afterwards?
It
We
does.
see what it is.
Yep.
Okay. So
Oh, my garbage collector. Boo. That's a powerful card that I now won't get to use.
that's good because that allows you to go through a card in the discard pile and add it to your hand. So you could have stolen my assassin, then made me discard some stuff. Then, right?
Sure, although I might have held out for something even better. Actually, there's not a lot in here right now. I might have just gone for the Tomb Robbers and gotten another unknown card. Well,
So I think it's your turn now.
it is. I guess I better go ahead and play my backup MacGuffin.
Ooh, the backup MacGuffin.
Yep.
You know what? Then I'm gonna play the actual MacGuffin.
Oh. In that case, I'm going to play my thief and steal your actual MacGuffin.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to play the merchant then, and
Okay.
that's going to
Oh.
move an object from that player to you. Oh, it's not in play. You put it
It's
in your
not,
hand.
It's back in my hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, can I get a redo on that one?
I suppose if you want to keep it.
I kind of
you have
do.
it now, but-
So then I'm going to play the vortex.
Oh!
So gather
Okay.
up all players' hands,
Okay.
shuffle them together,
You got that.
and deal them back out, starting with myself. So does that mean I'm going to get 2 cards
You're
now?
going to get an advantage, yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Oh.
Fortunately, it worked out because I still got the MacGuffin.
Well, I still had the merchant, so I'm going to move
Oh,
that
that's
MacGuffin.
bad. That is bad. Yeah, you can now, but now because you have something and I have something, the merchant makes deals. So you have to make a trade.
Ah.
Give me your rock for your MacGuffin.
Make you an offer that you can't refuse.
Yeah, if only one person had an object, it does just steal,
Mm-hmm.
as it were. But when there are things, he makes swaps.
Okay.
So I did that. No, you did that.
Yes, I did the merchant.
Right. So this is going to go badly for me because I know that last card is the scissors. I'd like to smash them. So my backup MacGuffin is useless with the real MacGuffin on the table. So I'll go ahead and throw that one away first so that you can then play that. Your
I'll
scissors.
play the scissors.
I then can use the power of the rock to force you to throw away your scissors. Then it's your turn. But now you have the power of the MacGuffin to pick that up and put it back down. So now I have no choice but to throw away my rock, and you win.
Come from behind.
And that's it. That's get the MacGuffin. And again,
super
so
fast,
many interesting
super
things
fun.
here in the trash that we didn't get to that time. And it's always fun seeing the different ways that the different things interact.
Absolutely.
And it always leaves you, I was just about to win. Let's play again. And next thing you know, you've played 10 games. But it's also great, like I say, it's great with 2. It's great with more than 2. If we had more players, we could pull them in, or we could play a different game, because I brought a couple others with me.
I see some other stuff on the table there. Let's talk about Anatomy Flux next.
All right, Anatomy Flux is, of course, our latest version of Flux, the card game of ever-changing rules. And this one is in our educational series. And this one is designed with an actual medical doctor.
Oh, wow.
I am not really that much of a much as I wear a lab coat and people often call me Dr. Looney, I'm actually quite squeamish at the sight of blood and really don't know that much about anatomy. But I'm very good friends with an ER doctor, and she's a big fan of games and game design and all that. And when we were talking about what to follow up math and chemistry flux with, the idea of anatomy just once we had the idea, it was off to the races. She started designing it one night, and here it is.
So you're saying this is part of the educational line of Flux games, then?
Yeah. We've got, like I say, math and chemistry flux. Before that was nature flux, and yeah, we're able to really sort of push educational. But this one's probably more than any, because here what makes this one unique is that all of the keepers are body parts, internal organs, and they all have a little factlet, as we call it, at the bottom. Not a factoid, because factoid is not necessarily true.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, it's like it's not really human, it's humanoid. It's not really a fact, it's factoid.
Okay.
Factlet is the more appropriate term. So we call them factlets. And there's a little educational factlet on each one of these keepers. So and then there's some couple of learning rules and a meta rule that says we start with one. So let's go ahead and start with one. And let me find it. The one we like to start with is, what does it say on there? We start with...
so it says right here, one of the educational new rules. Before shuffling the deck to begin the game, find the name that organ new rule. And
name that organ. There it is.
During the game, the current educational rule can only be discarded by playing the other educational rule.
Right. So we start with this one, name that organ. You can put that up. And so the way that works is when I get a keeper in my hand, let's suppose it's these kidneys here.
Okay.
Before I play it, I say, all right, I'm going to play a keeper. And I read you the little thing at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And if you, as a player on my left, can tell me what it is, you get to draw an extra card.
Name that organ.
And then later, once you know what these are, the other rule is the knowledge bonus. And that one says, if then I say, all right, I'm playing these kidneys, I say, I'm going to play the kidneys. Can you tell me what it is, what the factlet is? And then that's when the payoff is really exciting, because some of these are pretty tricky. Again, designed with a real doctor. She was the one choosing all this stuff. So do you want to play it, or should I explain more about it? I mean,
if you want to talk a little bit more about it, we're running a little short on time. We got about 5 minutes left before we got to start wrapping it up. And I see that you got some more stuff on the table, too.
I brought my Zendo set because, this is still pretty new. Zendo came out just in December. I guess I think we played this in...
Yep, we had the chance to play that live on stream at PAX Unplugged in Philly.
Yeah, at PAX Unplugged. So maybe we, refer them to that. Can they see old streams?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those are all available on video on demand through Twitch and YouTube, so you guys could definitely go check that out if you want. We had a lot of fun playing that. We had a chance to play that with Zach Barish. That was a game designer who was working on Kingdom Death right now. And that was a lot of fun, very abstract. But
yeah, well, let me say this. Do you want to play or hear more about anatomy, or should we crack Koopa Zendo and play a quick round of that?
If we've got time for a quick round of Zendo, let's give that a shot.
I think we can do it.
Okay.
Clean up my anatomy flux there while I dump this stuff out. And I'll give you an easy one.
Okay.
So that we'll be sure you can get it done in time. And this one's never been used, so we got to dump all the stuff out. So there are the pieces. It comes with 3 different shapes in 3 different colors. You got the original pyramids, like the set that started it all, plus blocks and wedges. And then there are secret rule cards, and I'll just go ahead and grab one of these ones right here, an easy one. And all the rule cards get marked with a little pair of clips to indicate which of the possible rules that it can generate I'm going to lock in on. And I'm going to say...
And let me move over to the board cam here and get a close-up of all these pretty pieces.
So I'm now going to build 2 keepers, 2 structures that will... and then I have a couple standard ones. One of the little Stonehenge Triathlon, and the other I like to do a couple of the pointy ones pointing at each other like that. And then, lastly, we need the marking stones. And according to the rule I've got here, This one follows the rule, and this one does not follow the rule.
Okay.
And you are trying to figure out what the rule is by building more little structures, seeing how they get marked, and then from that inductive logic puzzle, divining the rule I have on this card right here.
Okay, so let's...
should I let the home viewer see what the rule is?
Yeah, I could show it off in that here, and then I'll close my eyes. I don't know if it's... Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
Right there. That's perfect.
Okay, so that's what we're doing. I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
All right. So...
I'm going to try to build this one here, a little T-shape.
Okay, so the T-shaped one, that one does not... No, that does follow the rule. So I marked that with a white stone.
Okay.
Now, we're playing, since there's only two of us, we're playing in the two-player model where I run a puzzle for you, and then we'll see how many moves it took you to figure it out, and then you could run one for me, and we'd see the winner would be the one who did it in the fewest moves.
Right.
But probably we only have time for one session. So really this is just kind of like assisted solitaire. I'm running a puzzle for you, and we're going to see how long it takes you to get it. So build another structure.
Okay. Let's see.
And anytime you think you got the rule, just make a guess.
Does this follow the rule?
That does not follow the secret rule.
Okay. So it is one rule that I'm trying to guess here.
Now let me remind you of some of the rule possibilities. Well, maybe just look through the rule cards. Take a look at some of the rule cards. There's all the other easy ones. So get a sense of some of the possibilities of things.
So structure must contain all three colors. A structure must contain all three shapes. Exactly one, two, or at least one of those colors.
Of a particular color, and those would be marked with two clips.
And these are all the easy ones. I'm going to look at something in this vein. So then structure must contain at least one flat or vertical and be either red, yellow, blue. So depending on how you adjusted those clips on your board there.
So each rule card can generate up to, in some cases, 15 different rules, usually 6 to 9 different rules.
So I'm going to make a guess here. Does the structure have to contain one block stacked on top of another block?
That is not the rule.
Okay.
And I will demonstrate for you that that is the case by having a
red block,
a red block and another block side by side on the ground. There, nobody's even on top of each other at all, and yet that gets a white stone. So it follows my rule because it got to white stone, but it did not follow yours.
Okay, so how about...
And also I would then mark that with one of these to indicate that you made a guess.
Gotcha. So then how about this one over here? These two pieces side by side.
That does not follow the rule.
Okay.
So we mark that with a black stone.
So does it need to contain two different color blocks?
Two different color blocks? That's a good guess. Everything on the table has two different colored blocks. But that's not the answer.
Oh.
Check this out. Here's one with two exactly the same color blocks, and that gets a white stone.
Okay, I'm going to make one more guess here. Does it need to contain at least two blocks?
That's another good guess, but no.
Man.
Well, exactly two blocks. This one breaks it right here. That one has three blocks.
At least two blocks.
At least two blocks. Okay, here's one for you. No blocks at all. I mean, one block, rather. One block, and yet it gets a white stone.
Okay, so how about this one here?
That gets a black stone.
Aha. So does it need to contain a block laying on its side?
A flat block is absolutely correct. You have solved the puzzle. Your score would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points.
11. I feel like I didn't do that great.
The amount for me to beat would be an 11, yeah.
Okay.
That was all right, yeah.
So that was an example of Zendo there. Again, we did a full playthrough of that live at PAX Unplugged. That's available on video on demand if you guys want to check that out. Now, Andy, one more thing before I say goodbye to you for today. I know that you have some Star Trek fluxes coming out here. Can you give me some information about that?
Well, we are very happy to say we just landed the Star Trek license. I designed a Star Trek version of Flux a while ago, hoping that we would get the license, and it finally came through. So now we're moving it into production. And by it, I mean two. We're making two different versions an original series version and a next generation version right out of the gate.
So I don't have to pick between Kirk or Picard.
Nope, you can play with both of them. You're even going to be able to shuffle them together for one giant Uber game. And if they do well, maybe we'll do a Deep Space Nine version someday. But we'll see. But we're doing those two right out of the gate. And the art's coming together. We got an artist named Kevin Hill making art for us. It's got a cool stylistic look to it. And if all goes well, we'll be releasing it on August 2nd or something like that, just in time for Gen Con.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to say today, Andy?
Well, thanks for playing my games. That's usually it. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure to have you on all the time, Andy. And thank you all for joining us and watching at home. Stay tuned for more coverage throughout the day here live at GAMA. See you later. I'm Matt.
Bye. I'm Andy Looney.